Engagement, timing equals environment. Kia ora everybody. As Eugene said, I work at Korowai-Arawa Health Centre. Some of the demographics that we have there is around 85% Māori Pacific Island, quintile 4s, 5s, and most of our clients are products of social determinants of health. So we often hear about our statistics not being so good, what can we do, heart and diabetes checks, etc. But we always think quite positively. What we've done is taken on board those three principles: engagement, timing, and the environment. So what we've decided to do is, I've been involved in the CVRA program for about 2 or 3 years since I've been with Korowai, and I was previously involved with that in my previous job. So since we've started, we've been plotting how we've been going every month, and we've noticed about the end of last year we hit a plateau. We'd hit so many patients that we'd called in for heart checks and diabetes checks, and then it was starting to take a bit of a dip. And it's quite easy to get a bit disheartened when that kind of thing happens, but what we figured was we'd hit a period where now the fun really started, the challenge really started for us. So it meant that we had to put on an innovation hat. So we came up with a plan, and part of that plan was to include the clients or the patients that we serve, their perspective as to what would work. Because in my way of thinking, what's the point of putting something out there if we don't have those type of people's input in? Otherwise, we could be barking up the wrong tree. And so we put a plan together that was going to improve our statistics for what we were doing at Korowai-Arawa. Same demographics, same peoples, and that came about with a lot of innovation. And so I did some number crunching yesterday, and in the last few months we've upped our CVRAs by about 40%, and it's slowly on an increase number per month as we're going. So those innovations really were determined by the environment that we work with. And we've heard a lot of the answers already from previous speakers about aroha, whānau, giving the time to the disease, like John was talking about. I guess what's been running through my mind is that we have been engaging in those sort of ideals and strategies. And I think it appears to be working for us. And as you know, once we get them in for a CVRA, that leads to a whole matrix of other conversations that we can have around smoking, diabetes, etc. But those social determinants of health can sometimes prevent us from seeing the picture or wanting to act more quickly. And so it's important to remember that health for those that come in, and with me I've been working a bit primarily with men's health, is it will be the partner or the wife or the whānau that brings the man forward. So in their world, having a heart check or diabetes check is on a list, and it's not one of the priorities. So how do we move that? How do we change that? So I'm not going to talk too much longer, but I just have two great speakers here from our consumers. The first one's Lester. He's got a terrific journey, but I'm mindful of the kumara, so I'm not going to spout too many praises about him. I'm just a potato. But so I'll let him talk about a bit of his journey, and it's just as a gentle reminder of us to where the patients that we're serving come from and what trials and tribulations are in their life, and that we are there to serve and help. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Lester.
Kia ora, my name is Lester Kairiana. Last year I lost my job because of ill health. I was diagnosed on major heart attack and major asthma attack. I had type 2 diabetes, and I had high cholesterol. I've been with Korowai-Arawa as a patient for about 8 years, maybe more. They've tried everything, and I thank them for what they have done. I was in for my asthma check, and the nurse, the asthma specialist up at Korowai, Nolene, she put me onto a men's health group called Tāne Takituaki, and I was on season 9 with them. We're up to season 11 now. It's a health group. We do nutrition, we do gym work, we do just anything just to get the men motivated. I was told to actually quit my job because of my health. It really got my family down, so I had to end up doing something. So when I started with the Tāne group, I was actually 150 kgs. I'm now down to 130 kgs. Thank you. Still a long way to go, but yeah, now I'm slowly getting there. With the nutrition class that we have with Jasmine is I've only been a meat and potato man all my life, but now I sort of my portions are actually gone. For tea I usually have about 3-4 plate loads of kai a night. Now I'm only down to about half a plate before I get full. But the top part that sort of, I have beaten the diabetes. That is now gone. My cholesterol is now gone. And my blood pressure is still a bit high, but it's way down. So I'm not in that danger zone anymore. Thanks to Korowai and Tim and everybody that's helped me out. But the course, the Tāne course, has really opened my eyes to see where I'm going to go. And just near the end of last year, just before I finished my course, my 5-year-old daughter came up to me and she says, "Dad, can you give me away?" And I'm looking at her and I was, "What?" "When I get big, I want you to give me away." And I looked at her and she goes, "When I get married." She is now 6. And I said, "Okay then." Right. So that was the thing that really got me going and seeing my baby doing that. My middle girl, she's the sporty one of the family. She got smart to me one day. She took off, and then when she looked behind me, I was right beside her. But for the men that need to go and get checked, I do really recommend it. Go to your doctor and get yourself checked. And so from the bottom of my heart and my family's heart, I'd like to thank Korowai Oroha and the Tāne Takituaki course for what they have done. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Lester. And Hinatare is our next speaker, and she's going to talk a little bit about her story as well. So please.
Kia ora whānau. Mata whaura te maunga, rotu iti te moana, kaituna te awa. Kia ora. Hey, you telling me I'm short, man? Rangitihi te whare tūpuna. Ngāti piki ao te hapu. Hine rangi hine kiri te iwi. Komotu. For me, please excuse my choice of words because this is coming from my heart. 7 years old, I had rheumatic fever. Rheumatic fever runs in my family. I lost a sister to rheumatic fever and other illnesses. I've got a brother that's had a triple bypass due to his rheumatic fever. Well, Cousin Mala, I must have done something right. Thanks, I have whānau in the health sector as well. I spent 6 months in Rotorua Hospital and 9 months in Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Up until the age of 18, I was on injections every month. I was not allowed to play sports till I was 21. So in other words, I didn't play sports. I was left with a heart murmur. I still go to have ECGs, and the last 2 times the hospitals asked me, why do I bother? Because everything's fine now. I've always been taught to look after other people, and in the last, I'll say 6 months, I've been trying to give up smoking, and I mean really give up smoking. And I'll go, yeah, okay. I'll give up for a couple of weeks, then we'll lose a whānau, stick a smoke in my mouth. And my whānau kept saying to me, what are you smoking again for? Oh, so-and-so died, and so-and-so died, and auntie died. Did they stick it in your mouth? No, shut up. I lived in Auckland for a few years and also up north. I went through their smoking program, and it was a 4-month limit. I'd go back and they'd go, nah, that's it. You've done the program, go somewhere else. So I moved home and I approached Korowai Aroha. I think I've been to Korowai Aroha for help as many times as I go to our maraes. Korowai Aroha have been there. They've done my blood tests, my heart. I always says, if I'm going to die, I want to die of cancer, because my husband's side of the family is the diabetic side. I've seen family go through the diabetics and everything, machines, living in 15 years. A cousin-in-law was the longest living person in the far north on dialysis. He has since passed away. My husband had diabetic, but he also had wooden ears. Wouldn't listen to what the doctors were saying. And every time I tried to encourage him to listen to the doctors, he'd tell me to shut up, Miss Know-all. I gave up smoking. My last cigarette was 11:45, April the 1st, and I've never, that's only this year, but 2 weeks has been the longest for me to give up smoking. I haven't done it on my own. Earlier this year, a cousin, we nearly lost her. She had cancer, healthy woman, always worked in the shearing sheds, tough as, a real tomboy. She went under the knife. They did not expect it to come through. I got the news, so I was spending a lot of time at the hospital with her. And I ended up asking her and the surgeon, can I please watch you change the dressing? And they said, can you handle it? I said, I need to, because I need to know what I'm doing to my body, and I need to see the damage I'm doing inside. And my brother scared me with my heart. I got a wooden heart. Well, I started off with a wooden heart. I think it's concrete now. So I knew how to handle my heart and look after my heart, but the rest of me I didn't. Seeing the surgeons undo her dressings and seeing the inside of her, I asked the surgeon, what's those? What's that? What's those mite marks? Is she okay? They go, no, she'll never be okay. So I said, that's it, cuz. You may as well knock me over the head because I'm giving up smoking now. And she goes, why would I knock you over the head? I said, because you've just scared the living daylights out of me. Korowai Aroha is been there 150% for me. I read a couple of days ago in the paper about the statistics of what our health providers, where they're standing at. Excuse my choice of words. Whole lot of blimmin' crap. They're looking at the wrong people. They're looking at the ones that don't want to give up. They need to look at the ones that are succeeding, the ones that are out there that really need the help. Korowai Aroha, my whānau are now ready to leave their medical providers and come to Korowai Aroha because they're seeing the change in me. And I'm talking about my sister, my nieces, my cousin-in-laws. Korowai Aroha is my life. If you told me before Christmas that I'll be going to boot camp, I would have laughed at you. I work with intellectual disability, mental health, and elderly. All my life I've always walked around looking after people because that's what our kaumatus and our kuias taught us. I was never taught how to look after myself until I started listening to Korowai Aroha. They've been there for my health. They've never ever pushed me away. I don't know how they put up with me, but I don't know. I have, like I said, family members that are very strong in health, and I'm now looking up to them, and yet I'm the oldest out of all of us. And my immediate family, and it's my younger ones that are sort of making me look after myself without even saying a word. I always say to my kids, when I'm going to die, I'd rather die of cancer. But now I've seen the results of cancer, the results of diabetes and everything. When I die, I want to die of being a grumpy old grandmother. Kia ora.
I think that's a summation of about engagement. And I know at where we work, when they come in for the CVRAs, it's always, we always leave a message of pass this on to your uncle, your aunt or son or what have you. Ask about their heart checks. Because what that does is then take it home and it becomes a topic as normal on the table, hopefully, down the track. And this is where we're coming to the engagements. Both have different various backgrounds, but what it was obviously something, that aha moment that made them engage, and therefore it has flow-on effects, not only for the individual, but also for the whānau that follows and surrounds them. So, yes, I think that's probably all I would like to say. Just that with the CVRAs and our plan, I think it's about 4 pages long that Jane and I put together, but it's one of the great things is plotting exactly where you're doing and what you're doing in your practice, because you can see the cause effect of how the year's gone, and it helps you to plan very effectively. So that's one take-home message I'd put out there for practices, etc. So thank you, Jim.